Quality of life is not the only thing families are weighing when they're considering termination for medical reasons. So I'm going to talk about all the other things that families think about and have to consider when thinking about this choice. First is financial. Is this a two-income household? Can one person quit their job? If not, who's going to take the kid to all of the therapies that they're going to need to go to? Does one parent, if they have to work, have a flexible career that allows them to take a lot of time off work, because sick kids get sick? They don't just get sick, they usually get hospitalized, and they need a lot more than regular kids. They need speech, OT, PT, blah, blah, blah. Does the state you're living in have great coverage, financial coverage, support, respite, HAB? And would your kid qualify for those programs? If not, then your sick child will be on your insurance. And do you have good insurance? Do you have bad insurance? Can you afford to meet your deductible every year? Because you might. If both parents have to work, can you hire a nanny? Because most sick kids really shouldn't be going to daycare. Okay, social supports. Do you have family? Do you have friends? Did you move across the country for financial opportunities and have literally no one to watch your other children when your sick kid is in the hospital? Do you have access to medical institutions that are not 5 hours away, 2 hours away, they're not states away, that you can take your child to for all of the PT, OT, speech? Are you connected to an academic institution, and does that academic institution do the thing that your kid needs, like i.e. surgery and different types of therapies and all the things that come with having a sick kid? Not everyone can afford to go to Boston Children's Hospital. Not everyone is on the East Coast. Not everyone lives in a city with great medical care. How's your mental health? Are you on the verge of a mental breakdown as it is because of all the pressures of life and all of the things that's going on in the world? And how will you do with a very sick kid, or a kid that dies, or a kid that you know will die? How is that? I personally had postpartum anxiety with my first son, and I know that having a very sick kid in the NICU and seeing all the machines and the tubes and all of the risk of infection, all of that would, put me over the edge, I feel. I don't know. How's the relationship with your spouse? What does your spouse think about all of this? Where does your spouse's values lie? Children of, or parents of disabled children have a higher rate of divorce. Bereaved parents have a higher rate of divorce. Is that something that you could be concerned about? How does bringing a sick child into the world impact your family, i.e. living children, possible future living children? How does that play into your future? How important is your religion or your faith? Does it dictate every ounce of your being? Does it... When does life begin? Does it begin at conception? Does it begin when the fetus feels pain? Does it begin at first breath? God forbid you die and your spouse die. Does leaving your sick child with your other living children, is that a value of yours as a parent? Is that something you're comfortable doing? But yeah, Elizabeth, who are we to determine someone's potential quality of life?